Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday. And I am chilling with a spotted cow. If you know, you know, and if you don't, my condolences, because I ain't telling. But I get them like once a year, and I'm taking advantage of it. How is everybody doing today? Happy fucking Monday. Can my dog get in on this lawsuit, or is it just for cats? Oh my God. So that lawsuit that I was talking about the other day where somebody sued the Blue Angels, I have it. It's on Pacer. It really wasn't hard to find. But it was $2. I just had to go search for it, But it's only 19 pages. But before we read the lawsuit, we are going to look at the lawyer. So here is the lawsuit itself. It is filed in the Western District of Washington in Seattle. It's going to be a day. I'm suing the B-52s for acoustic torture. Yeah, I'm suing NSYNC for acoustic torture. How was your day off after a 3-year-old party insanity? I am still tired. My dad just left today to go back home. So it's been physically draining, mentally draining. I'm exhausted. But Mr. Squid is on vacation this week, so we're all here. Yeah, loony bin. Yes. I'd rather you never give it up. Oh boy. Okay. So before we get into this, real quick, Lauren Ann Lombardi is the person suing. And I looked at her lawyer. Her lawyer is this guy, Nassim Boukshia. However, I Googled his name, and what shall you find? People in Seattle, or some people in Seattle, are not very happy with him. So we're going to do a little background on the lawyer before we dive into this lawsuit, because there's an interesting turn of events when I was reading. This is a website called Transgender Map. Nassim Boukshia versus and I'm probably butchering that name. Yeah. Versus transgender people. So it goes into background, but he's an American lawyer, gun rights activist, and anti-transgender activist. I highly doubt that. This name, he is a contributor to an anti-trans activist, Jesse Single's Substack, Single-Minded. But here, he was born in Morocco in 1985, so he's my age. Here's where it gets interesting. Boukshia uses the nom de guerre Yassine Mescout, which roughly means chief of the damned. In 2023, Boukshia married Lauren Lombardi, whom he calls L when using the nom de jour. A former funeral director, Lombardi became a paralegal at Bouktia's Pavis lawsuit in 2024. In 2025, the couple sued the Navy's Blue Angels, claiming a 2024 jet flyover in Seattle killed their cat. So the person filing this lawsuit and her lawyer are married. For being in Seattle, the transgender people hate him. When you think it can't get any more ridiculous, here we are. Well, she's a paralegal. So here we go. Lauren Ann Lombardi versus Commander Adam Bryan in his official capacity as commanding officer of the Blue Angels, Lieutenant Ben Bouchon in his official capacity as public affairs officer of the Blue Angels, and John Doe in their official capacity as social media administrator of the Blue Angels. Complaint for declaratory and injunctive relief. This should be good. Everybody get your drinks out. We're going to make this into a drinking game because, God, if I get it, okay, y'all, I normally don't do this shit, but if I get 5 super chats, we will make a drinking game out of this because I got time. 5 super chats of $5 and higher, and we will have a lawsuit drinking game. Actually, you know what? 10, because I'm tacky like that. Oh. We have 30 minutes. I really don't either. Maybe like one beer every, like, I don't know. I had a glass of wine like 2 months ago. I think I had a bottle of wine. It looks as though as if you need to be loaded just to read it. Yeah. I set a goal. I never set super chat goals, so we'll see how that goes. But I read this article and it was like, oh, Paul, thank you for the £5. Here you go, Squid. Like, oh, there's one. This is a 6-pack, so this will be gone in 2 weeks, and I probably won't have another drink for 3 months. Yeah, Mr. Squid doesn't drink either, and I really don't either. So this should get interesting because I drink once in a great while. But intro. This and the way this is written. Okay, I saw snippets of this that were in the Fox News article, and quotes from this, and the way this is written, like, Bubbles writes better than this. This is supposed to be a lawsuit. Since when are lawsuits being turned into like drama and not dramatic novels? Like, you're writing a fucking book. You're not writing a book. You're writing a lawsuit. Not a lawyer. But if I were to write anything near this in a patient's chart, my ass would be grass. Like, you're supposed to write a lawsuit and a narrative of the facts. You're not supposed to write a fucking novel. Like, you're writing a freaking Lifetime movie. Ugh. Yeah, there's the next problem I have. But maybe they do things differently in Seattle. Maybe the Western District of Washington has a different. But once again, this looks, yeah. Oh, yeah. This lawyer, because they have that transgendermap.com went in a big background. And they made sure to point out that Buktia's parents won a U.S. diversity visa lottery and immigrated to the U.S. He grew up in Virginia. A bachelor's degree from George Mason in 2007. While there, he left Islam and became interested in the writings of economist Brian Kaplan and the rationalist movement. He earned a law degree from Georgetown University Law Center in 2011, and somehow went from Georgetown to Washington State Bar in 2014. After a stint at the ACLU Washington, working on reproductive rights, it's like if you were to count the, like, how many ways can you be offended this transgender map, although providing factual information, is like, how many ways can we be offended by somebody today? Which is going to be the dichotomy of reading this lawsuit and your wife is terrorized by, or your wife was filing a lawsuit that her cat was terrorized by a Blue Angels flyover. Yet you have, it just, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. I bet Georgetown doesn't want putting that out there. I don't know, but I've, like I said, I've seen articles that this lawsuit was filed, but as far as I know, I'm the only person that's read it or posted it. Yeah, this is real. This is real. Like, this is real. Jeffrey, thanks for the $3 super chat. Doesn't count to the goal, but helped pay for Pacer. I appreciate it. You just paid for my $2 that I spent on that. 10 cents to do the docket search and $1.90 for the docket itself. All right, let's get into this. This is funny. This is the story of a heart-wrenching emotional loss needlessly compounded by unapologetic constitutional violations. When a beloved family member was terrorized by the United States Navy's Blue Angels, an American citizen exercised her constitutional right to criticize her government's role in her daughter's suffering. Remember this word right here. In response, a cadre of emotionally fragile snowflakes masquerading as naval officers chose the coward's path. They silenced this citizen's speech, violated their oath to the Constitution, and brought disgrace upon the uniform they claimed to honor. A year later, when that same vulnerable creature died after enduring yet another sonic assault, during her final days on Earth, the Navy's constitutional betrayal compounded the tragedy. An American remained silenced, unable to voice her grief or otherwise hold her government accountable for its role in her family's suffering. Oh yeah, there's screenshots. I have criticisms of the way this is written in the sense of like, why would you put some of this shit in a lawsuit? Like, why would you admit to some of this shit in an initial complaint? Oh, just wait. There's pictures. There's a picture. Every August, a squadron of F-18 E and F Super Hornets multi-role fighter aircraft descend upon the Puget Sound with the subtlety of a military occupation, conducting screeching low-altitude flights with their twin jet engine reading speeds of over 700 miles per hour, producing decibel levels exceeding 130 dBs, louder than a jackhammer at close range, and sufficient to cause immediate hearing damage. I lived around Oceana Naval Air Station. I worked with naval aircraft all the damn time. There is a large difference between what this is described, and a flyover where you're literally on the phone, like the Verizon guy back in the commercials. Hold on. Wait. Can you hear me now? Like, holy crap. My freaking goodness. Hey, Wednesday's Life, how are you? Oh, just wait. It gets better. This auditory carpet bombing is nominally not part of an invading enemy force destined to traumatize a captive civilian population, but rather represents the U.S. Navy's own elite aerobatic troop, the Blue Angels. With an annual budget exceeding $40 million in taxpayer funds, these self-proclaimed ambassadors of naval aviation conduct their cacophonous flight demonstrations. That's the first time I've ever heard that word, so if I mispronounced it, I apologize. Ostensibly This is a lawsuit. This is not a how to get, oh my goodness. Yo, I lived by, I don't know how many squadrons are at Oceana, but there's a lot. There's a lot. And like, there's a lot. There's a lot. To integrate the general public to the work of the brave men and women of the U.S. Navy, regardless of whether the public consents to this oral assault or not. Oh my God. However, there exists robust public discourse disputing the purported mutual beneficence of this often fatal stunt show. Often fatal. Often fatal. What the? What the actual? I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if any of you are listening and you're listening on replay and you actually just want me to read this, because I'm literally having I think I want to start reading some of the most ridiculous lawsuits I can find. And this is one. Crazy cat lady needs to stop stealing air and space. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, wait. You know this, she is a paralegal and she is married to the lawyer who wrote this. Yeah, what did they go through the thesaurus looking for any audio related term? With mounting evidence that these performances serve primarily to satisfy the Navy's institutional narcissism, while needlessly tormenting vulnerable humans and animals alike. No, it's a family-friendly affair. Thank you very much. Which is what makes what you said on the Instagram posts slightly less than family-friendly, which is probably why your fucking ass got blocked. Just saying. Because honestly, if anybody talked to me like this in a DM, they'd be blocked too. Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. We're going to start at the beginning and you'll see I showed a website. It's interesting, to say the least. Every August, Puget Sound residents endure what can only be described as a state-sanctioned acoustic torture. A 2024 University of Washington study found over 74,000 residents exposed to jet noise levels sufficient scientifically proven to cause hearing loss, hypertension, and sleep disruption. Veterans with PTSD report flashbacks. Autistic care home residents have been terrorized mid-treatment during what should be therapeutic sessions. Provide your proof for that. Provide your proof. Meanwhile, a 2020 study published in the Journal of Marine Science and Engineering showed jet noise penetrates Puget Sound waters deep enough to impair endangered beloved orcas' critical hunting and communications abilities. During training exercises at California Naval Base in 2021, you notice how they don't say what base it is? Interesting. I'm going to pick this fucking lawsuit apart. I'm going to pick this motherfucking lawsuit apart. Especially when you're talking about the Navy and naval aviation. Naval aviation. Need I say more? A single sneak pass shattered buildings and triggered an immediate health effects in nearby naval personnel. Provide your evidence. Even internal emails between high-ranking Navy officers grudgingly admit some valid concerns, including safety of citizens and impact to medical patients are being raised regarding these performances. Cacophonous assault, they used it twice, on civilian populations. Every August, my God, every August. Yeah, which one of the other problems I have with this lawsuit is literally every August. They come every August to Puget Sound. Guess what? Every August, you should know, oh, maybe I should give my cat some CBD. Maybe I should figure out a way to, I can't stop this from happening. Maybe I should figure out a way to stop being triggered by some fucking planes. Maybe I should figure out a way to stop being such a fucking pussy. Tell me how you really feel. Not really on a mission, just not biting my tongue. Oh, and to all my haters watching, screenshot this. And before y'all have a watch party on somebody's Discord, I know who the fuck you are, cunt. And stop trying to act like you're popular, because you're not going to be anybody's motherfucking mod. Nobody's, because nobody likes you, you fucking bitch. Screenshot that. Every August, Lauren Ann Lombardi, and this is where it gets really ridiculous, engaged in a familiar American pastime of complaining to her government about her government's actions through her government social media accounts. As the human parent and advocate to her Layla, an elderly cat. Remember, up here, criticize her government's role in her daughter's suffering. Down here, as the human parent and advocate to her Layla, an elderly cat. Who suffered from congestive heart disease. Lombardi expressed her displeasure with this taxpayer-funded naval squadron in unambiguously coarse terms that any red-blooded American can understand and appreciate. I'm sorry, if your cat has congestive heart disease and you've known about this for years, I am all for. I like animals more than people most days. However, how good of a pet parent are you being by letting your child suffer? So when you get a moment, peek at Discord. Grok pulled a list of the audio-related terms they used in the lawsuit. Not enough for a bingo card. Damn. Someone pissed in someone's meow. like 3 awesome dogs. You know, I like animals more than people most days. However, like, there is, if you know your animal is sick, and this was filed in 2025, they show screenshots of messages from 2023. So your cat has been suffering with this for 2 years. And you are not being a humane pet parent and doing what's best for your animal, regardless of the jets, regardless. Your cat is suffering. You know your cat is suffering, yet you are extending them. You are extending their suffering. So I'm like, where's PETA when you need them? Hold on one second. All right. Lombardi expressed her displeasure with this taxpayer-funded naval squadron in unambiguously coarse terms any red-blooded American can understand and appreciate. I'm sorry if anybody spoke to me like she spoke to them, I'd block her ass too. In fact, when people tell me what I can and can't say, or who I can and can't talk to, or what I should and shouldn't do, I get a little testy. And I think that's why I'm testy right now. I think that's why I'm a little testy right now. But I was reading this and I'm like, I just can't. Like, I started reading this and I saw some screenshots of this in, or not screenshots, but quotes from this in the article, and was like, I just, like, how? All right. For the affront of expressing constitutionally protected criticism, the constitutionally illiterate bureaucrats running the Blue Angels Instagram page resorted to censorship instead of accountability, bringing shame upon the service they purport to represent. These thin-skinned bureaucrats blocked Lombardi from commenting any further, thereby muzzling an American citizen while simultaneously blinding the broader public from witnessing legitimate grievances against their government. No, bitch, you were cussing at them, just like I'm cussing now, but there's no children watching, hopefully. There shouldn't be any children watching. But I'm sorry, the Blue Angels are a family-friendly thing. So when you are commenting in their comment section and you are cursing some of the things that you said, like fucking bullshit and telling them to fuck off, they are going to delete those comments. And they are probably going to block you if you keep on, because I'm sorry, I know I'm not family friendly at times, but I know that this is not a family friendly stream. This is not meant to be a family friendly stream. This is not kids' topics. However, the Blue Angels Instagram page is family friendly. The Blue Angels are a family friendly event. I've been there. My dad took me when I was little. It's what got me interested in aviation to begin with. My dad when we used to play, used to do bombardier to pilot, and used to like toss me on the bed because I was a bomb, and used to go bombs away and like, toss me onto the water bed. And I used to do this like flopping around like a fish thing. Like, Blue Angels are family friendly. This is not, when you go on their Instagram page and you start cursing at them, saying fucking bullshit, fuck off, stop with you, nobody cares about your fucking planes, they're going to delete your comments. Like if I was a child friendly, there are people who don't like that I cuss, so they don't watch. And that's perfectly acceptable. It's one of those situations of, you have to know your audience. And if your audience is families, they're not going to want that in their comment section. Here I am drinking a beer, eating pretzels. Like, y'all, you just don't, like. Hey, Timothy, just stopped by to hit the thumbs up and rewatch Crew going to DeLand, Florida at 3:30 a.m. Ooh, 3:30 comes early. You got a ball? Speaking of family friendly. Daddy. Okay. Yes. Oh, Daddy. You go by Daddy? Okay. You want to come here? Mommy's working right now, baby. Hold on 1 second. Pause. And baby squid is being taken care of by her daddy. you know. Every August, Layla would spend endless hours soaking in sunshine, tracing the days like a sentient sundial in peaceful communion with her protective backyard domain. In the summer of 2024, Layla's heart condition spiraled. Lombardi spent several grueling overnights at an emergency vet where fluid had to be drained from around Layla's failing heart. She's not happy. Yeah, just as well then. She didn't attend an AC/DC concert. Okay, bye. She big mad. She slammed the door on me. Oh, and this is sad. Like I understand that animals are sick. Like I said, most days I believe I like animals more than people. Like I'm not a people person. Yeah, this right here. This is the way this is written is like, huh? Well, it sounds like she had a heart condition before, which is fine as if it's managed. Like I had a cat or I had a dog with Cushing's, but it was managed. But once it stopped being managed, we knew that it was time to put the dog down. Like because didn't live up to the axiom, cuts like a sailor. For better or for worse, it is what it is. Yeah. Like start every paragraph. This is not a book. Layla's heart condition spiraled. Lombardi spent several grueling overnights at an emergency vet where fluid had to be drained from around Layla's failing heart. Layla returned home in critical condition, heavily sedated and desperately exhausted, and unfortunately perfect timed with yet another Blue Angels sonic barrage. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Like, honestly. Like, even through the narcotic fog of sedation and her weakened state, Layla's primitive limbic system overruled her medication, and she fled in primal panic beneath furniture, her labored breathing escalating to clinically dangerous levels. I'm sorry, whose fault is the fact that your cat is sick and panicking? These are scheduled flight exercises. The entire community knows this. I would sue the woman for animal cruelty for not taking the cat to a noise-free area or not properly insulating her home. Yeah, and it's just one of those things of like, but it's like, your cat's in critical condition. You are like, I feel bad for that cat that this is her owner. Like, after multiple times, like your cat is weak, sick, on narcotics. Like fluid had to be drained from around her failing heart, and yet you are trying to extend her life. You are making this cat suffer. Like like who is being worse to this cat? Some Blue Angels flying over that's like 30 seconds, or and that's the thing, like I don't know Washington very well, so I don't know where the if it's just a civilian airport that they're flying out of like they do in Milwaukee, or if it's a naval air station, because I know there is a naval air station. There's Whidbey Island, but I don't know how far Whidbey Island is from Puget Sound. I was never stationed out there. I was in Virginia. I know East Coast stuff. I don't know. Fallon, Naval Air Station Fallon was about as far west as I got. And that was only for like a month at a time. So I don't know what call me stupid, but I don't know what the West Coast geography looks like. But this sounds like a bad pet parent. This sounds like a parent who cares about their time with their pet more than their pet. Like, I don't know. I just have a problem with this pet owner. And when you see the picture of this, it will tell you all you need to know about this pet owner, in my opinion. Her labored breathing escalating to critically dangerous levels. Lombardi employed desperate measures to block or muffle the deafening roar, barricading windows with thick blankets, flooding the house with calming music, physically shielding Layla's ears to no avail. Bandwidth. And this right here, this statement was in the article. I got so mad. Their cat like this. I got so fucking mad, and I'm going to get agitated right now, and I can tell. Okay. Thank you, Duncan, Idaho. Thank you. I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to make assumptions because I've never been to Whidbey Island. So I don't know. I don't claim to be an expert in there is Whidbey Island. There's a naval air station. It's where all the one or VAQ squadrons were. You've been to Whidbey Island? My aunts live there. I've never been there. I knew people who were stationed there because one of our squadrons was from there. But VAQ 137 was from there. But that's it. Yeah, jet engines don't have a single frequency. But this is where I got mad. Whatever bandwidth Layla's walnut-sized brain could previously gorge upon had been narrowed to a single overwhelming frequency, pure debilitating terror. Who describes their cat like that? Who describes their cat like that? Who the fuck describes their cat like that? That to me does not sound like a loving cat owner. Whatever Layla's walnut-sized brain could, like, yes, this killed us. Yes, people move by an airbase, then gripe about the noise. Airbase has been there since World War II. Yep. I just can't. Yes. Wait, she dresses up the cat. Yep. But here's the thing. Photo of Layla in her summertime prime. Just the way this is written is just, I can't believe this is real. And I'm sorry, like, this is worse than Bruce. This makes Bubbles, at least Bubbles' stuff was like, at least, it was ridiculous to read, but it was like, I don't know, it was ridiculous, but like this is a, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Every August was good until then. So your cat is elderly. Your cat's been around. This has been a thing at Puget Sound for 8 years at least. And you're only complaining when your cat was sick, which is a you problem and not a Navy problem. But no August would ever be the same again. Layla's condition continued to deteriorate, and she left home again for the final time. She spent her last week fighting for her life in a specialty hospital before being humanely euthanized on August 11th, 2024. And it is July 21st, 2025, when this was filed. Surrounded by her inconsolably grieving family. This is another problem I had. I was talking to my family last night, both of my parents, and some friends. And I have never, I have put animals to sleep. I have family who have put animals to sleep. I have friends who have put animals to sleep. I have never met anybody who's been inconsolable. I have a friend who just buried her mother. One of my best friends in the entire world just buried her mother. And she's not even inconsolable. And if anybody deserves to be inconsolable, it's her. She's not even inconsolable. And this woman is inconsolable over a cat. An elderly cat. Something doesn't seem something doesn't pass the smell test. Yeah, I've know people who have lost children and have not even been inconsolable. Yeah, thank my dad for sending me this article. Yeah, my dad sent me this article. So this is my dad's fault. So you're welcome. Layla's final days on Earth, and I am not laughing that a cat passed away. Like I said, I like animals better than people most of the time. However, it's a cat. At the end of the day, we all know that people live longer than animals. That's one of the reasons that I don't own animals. Because I always dog sat. Because I could give the dogs back to other people. And I wouldn't have to deal with when they got sick and having to put them down and all of that. Nope, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I can physically and emotionally separate myself from that. However, to, in a lawsuit, say that you're a parent, to say that you're a daughter in the first page of the lawsuit, make the lawyer think that it's your, or make the judge think that it's your daughter, and then 2 pages later say it's a cat. Layla's final days on Earth were marred by sadistic suffering. Whose fault is that? That sounds like the owner's fault. Cowering in terror beneath furniture while her ailing heart struggled against the Blue Angels' relentless noise pollution. That sounds like the owner's fault. Not 5 minutes of a flyover a couple of times a day. Layla died knowing only fear when she should have known only love. Photo of plaintiff Lauren Lombardi embracing Layla during her final days. Notice she's not showing her face? Yeah, but even you weren't inconsolable. A pet is a pet, not a child. I understand and have myself. Loving a pet is so closely, but in the end, it's not a person. It's not a child. We joke and we say, my fur babies. Yes, but at the end of the day, we know that they are pets. They are not people. There's a difference. And you can chew me up in the comment section if you're watching this on replay and tell me that I'm an awful person for saying that a pet's not a child. But there is a difference between a pet and a human child. A large difference. That's not to say that pets are not important, but also, yes, number 7 is a doozy. Maybe we wouldn't be dying off as a nation if people had children instead of treating their pets like them. And I'm all for people treating their pets very well. Pets are people too. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we have to know that pets don't live as long as us. And when don't let your pets suffer. I am off. I feel awful when people let their pets suffer, and I see it because pets don't recover like people do. Her lawsuit states her daughter. Isn't that fraud? In the first page, I wish I could have. I'm so sorry, Tammy. I'm so sorry. This case is crazy. Exactly. We didn't give birth to an animal. On the first page, this is page 5, but on the first page, well, it's page 2, it literally says constitutional rights to criticize her government's role in her daughter's suffering. That is who she's talking about. A cat. And I'm sorry, like this right here, this is my cat. So that is my childhood pet. So when I say I love pets, I really do. I have my childhood pet on my shelf. Grandpa's in the closet on the shelf. Tigger's on the office shelf. Like, I just, yeah. I knew, and I told my dad, and I told Mr. Squid, I was like, they're gonna mention Trump in here sometime. The Navy's cowardly censorship and allergy to criticism transformed personal tragedy into constitutional treason. By maintaining their block against Lombardi's scathing complaints on a subject of intense public interest, taxpayer-funded censors compounded a mother's grief with the bitter knowledge that her own government I can't wait to see the response to this, had silenced her voice at a time she needed it most. As precedent in Knight Institute v. Trump and other cases had shown, government officials cannot hide behind their own personal sensitivity or cowardice to escape criticism or accountability. Our constitutional order is predicated on a foundational bargain. Those who wield government power must subject themselves to the full force of the First Amendment scrutiny, regardless of how uncomfortable that criticism makes them. Cursing on an Instagram page that's supposed to be family friendly, when it may actually break Instagram's terms of service, is a different, You've been chilling with John Cook with his ex-wife in a drawer. Oh, you know. Big difference between my mom and dad and my dog. Yeah. Not to say that like the dog shouldn't be loved. It's just a different. Oh no, this is an interesting read. This is a great read. Pass the word around ever. This is an interesting read, to say the least. The purpose of this civil action is to compel the government to honor its constitutional obligations and abide by the very document these defendants swore an oath to defend. Oh, and this lawyer, by the way, was a public defender and is a criminal defense attorney, not a civil attorney. Just in case you wanted to know that, and it might have a. I'm slowly learning the more lawsuits that I read, the more I learned that people need to stay in their lane. Just like Carly Gregg, her criminal defense attorneys there was one that was not, they were not criminal defense attorneys, and it showed. Sometimes people need to stay in their lane. There's a reason that certain lawyers are good at certain things. It's because they're good at certain things. And when you are practiced at a certain thing, you have skill fade. Just like if I were to go and work in pediatrics right now, I did a 6-week rotation in pediatrics. I wouldn't be able to work in pediatrics if they gave me like a contract that paid me $100 an hour. I don't have the skills to work in pediatrics. I haven't done it in a decade. There are some things that when you work as a criminal defense, maybe civil litigation's not your thing. I'm just saying there's maybe people should stay in their lane. I'm just the thought. Maybe like switching, like going from a hospital to a school system is very difficult. Going from a school system to a hospital system, very difficult. So wait, you're saying that they are stressed cat attorneys. Oh, and remember this attorney is Lauren Lombardi's husband, by the way. He was a public defender, and I think he started his own, I'm not sure I didn't go to the actual law firm's website, but I think he started that. She is his paralegal. So a paralegal and a lawyer both thought this was a good idea, and they're married. This court has jurisdiction under 28 U.S. Code 1331 because this action arises under the Constitution of the United States and under 28 U.S. Code Statute 2201 and 2202 for declaratory relief. Venue is proper in this court under 28 U.S. Code 1391 B2 and E1. A substantial part of the events giving rise to this claim occurred in this district, and each defendant is an officer of the United States sued in their official capacity. Plaintiff Lauren Ann Lombardi is a resident of Seattle, Washington. She operates an Instagram account under the handle Lola. Hoy. To this couple flee Washington for Florida. No, they still live in Washington. Defendant Commander Adam Bryan is sued in his official capacity as commanding officer of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. Commander Bryan is responsible for the overall command and operations of the Blue Angels Flight Demonstration Squadron, including oversight of their public communications and social media presence. Defendant Lieutenant Ben Bashong is sued in his official capacity as Public Affairs Officer of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. Lieutenant Bashong is responsible for managing the public affairs operations for the Blue Angels, including social media policy, implementation, and public communication strategy. Defendant Jay Doe is sued in their official capacity as social media administrator for the Blue Angels. Doe was responsible for managing the Blue Angels' social media accounts, including the Instagram account, U.S. Navy Blue Angels, that blocked plaintiff's account. For cough drops, thanks. It's my allergies, man. This past couple weeks with this heat wave, I don't know. It's the post-nasal drip is bad. But thank you, Rosalind, for the $4.99 super chat. We are getting closer to our goal of a oh my, hold on. The little is throwing a fit. Hold on one second. Factual allegations. Layla, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at the fact that a cat passed. Like, pets are important parts of our lives. Like, it is sad when any animal is sick, but to talk about a pet like she's more important than a human and that the U.S. Navy caused the unaliving of a cat is when you should have probably put her to sleep a year to two before this. And this is reading more like a drama novel than anything. Layla was the greatest cat that ever lived, and in her final days on this earth were pockmarked by debilitating terror brought on by the actions of the United States government. Plaintiff Lauren Ann Lombardi was the devoted mother. This, I have the problem, to Layla, and is passionate advocate for the welfare of all animals. Apparently not, because you let your animal suffer for years with a heart condition. She honors Layla's memory through the Instagram Garden of Lay. The little is, I want to go give my little one a hug. Say hi. Thanks. Thank you for being patient with me. She was crying, so I had myself muted. And she proved that she was the greatest cat ever lived. Unsubstantiated claims. She is so tired. She's so tired. She's so sleepy. Poor little one. I did it on purpose because she was screaming. I put that comment up because that's the one I wanted to read, but I wasn't actually reading the comment. I was talking to her because I was trying to calm her down. So I knew I was muted. I wasn't talking to y'all. She took a nap in the car today. Plaintiff Lombardi respects and supports the United States Armed Forces and their mission. Apparently you don't. And her criticism of the Blue Angels was narrowly focused on specific environmental and constitutional harms caused by their demonstration practices and subsequent censorship activities. Bullshit, lady. Instagram is a social media platform that allows users to create accounts, publish content, and message each other and interact through comments on posts. Yes, and government entities use Instagram to communicate with the public about official business. Yes, but you don't have the right to curse on a family-friendly street or family-friendly topic. The Blue Angels are family-friendly. Family-friendly. Like, hey, your mom. Uh-oh, breaking news from New York City. Oh, no. Government Instagram accounts serve dual functions. They provide direct communication channels between the government and citizens. They create public commentary spaces where citizens coordinate and discuss matters of public interest with each other. Instagram's blocking function prevents blocked users from viewing content, commenting on posts, or sending messages to the blocked account, thereby excluding them from both direct communication as well as public discourse occurring on that account's page. Yes, but you also don't have the right to curse at people on a family-friendly page. Instagram's blocking function operates surreptitiously. Blocked users are not notified they've been blocked. A blocked user visiting the blocking account will encounter a fictitious no post yet notice, while in reality, the blocking account's posts are simply not accessible to the blocked user. Similarly, blocked users can still send direct messages, even if the platform prevents the recipient from receiving them. The U.S. Navy's Blue Angels Flight Squadron maintains an official Instagram account under the handle U.S. Navy Blue Angels that they use to share information about their performances, engage with the public regarding their activities, and solicit public comments about and feedback about their operations. Starting on or about July 31st, the Blue Angels began conducting low-altitude flight practices and demonstrations all over the greater Seattle metropolitan area multiple times a day, generating a significant noise and disruption in residential neighborhoods that they've done every August, like you've said, every August. This is not new. Like, This is not new. In response to the demonstrations and out of concern for her ailing cat, Layla, well, whose fault that she was ailing? You should have taken care of that by either having her treated, and if the treatment wasn't working, you were sitting there letting her suffer. And it sounded like she was ailing with or without the Blue Angels there. So your cat suffering is your fault, which means you are a bad pet parent, which means it's a you problem. You should really look in the mirror and take a deep, long look at yourself because you let your cat suffer. PETA should really be knocking on your door, lady. You should never own another animal in your entire life because you are a horrible person. You let that cat suffer. You're trying to blame the Blue Angels for you being a horrible person. And now you're wasting time and resources from the courts because you're a horrible pet parent. You should never own another pet in your entire life. Not like she'll ever see this, but just saying. Plaintiff posted multiple critical comments and direct messages from her personal account, Lola, to the U.S. Navy's official Instagram, Blue Angels' official Instagram account, urging them to consider the harm caused to local residents and their animals. Plaintiff's messages included direct criticism along with general displeasure. Stop with your fucking bullshit. You are terrorizing my cat and all their animals and wildlife. Fuck off. And nobody gives a fuck about your stupid little planes. You have the right to your First Amendment, but you also don't have the right to harass people. And cursing at people could be viewed as harassment. If you really want to go there, it could be viewed as breaking terms of service of Instagram. We can look. But I know that terms of service of Facebook, if you cuss at somebody, they report that, your comment gets taken down. So I'm sure if you did it on Instagram, because they're both owned by Meta, Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people. So if someone reports that comment gets taken down, they could block you. I mean, totally agree with what part, that she's a bad pet parent. Like, you let your cat suffer. And I'm sorry, if you have to put your cat down because they are ailing and there's nothing you can do for it, I'm sorry. That's just what you have to do as a pet parent. We all know that. Yes, does it suck? Is it horrible? Is it sad? Yes. However, we know that animals don't live as long as people. The average life expectancy in the U.S., male, 78? A cat, 18. And Ong Hong Hero, thank you for the 5 Squid Protocol membership. I really appreciate that. Like, personally, I can't stand them, but that's just because everybody oohs and ahs over them, and I'm just like, all I look at them is like, oop, what they break now. like all I look at is like, ooh, what they break. Oop, that turn broke something. Oh, what stupid thing is the pilot going to write up now? But that's just it's just what I do. Instagram's community guidelines do not explicitly ban cursing, but they do prohibit content that is offensive or harmful. And it might not be offensive to the Blue Angels themselves, because I mean, they're all sailors, but at the same time, you have kids that are watching that are seeing that, and they might have a thing that says do not curse on our page because we have kids here. This is a family-friendly environment. And Jeffrey, thank you for being a member for 4 months. There are 4 months. Star Trek, the Next Generation reference. My dad is a Trekkie. I'm not. Like, my macaw has a life expectancy of 70 to 80 years. He will outlive me. I don't do birds. Birds. No. I don't like birds. I don't like birds. Birds freak me out. Birds annoy me. I don't like birds. I don't like the sounds of birds. Birds annoy me. In addition, and the fact that they would put the fact that she cursed at them, this is also what I can't understand about this lawsuit. And y'all can y'all can tell me what you think of this. The fact that she cussed in the lawsuit, that is not something that I would voluntarily like admit. I would not be like, oh yeah, I told them to fuck off on their Instagram page and then wonder why you got blocked. like, yeah, right? If any person that views that comment can report it as offensive or harmful and Insta can take it down, doesn't have to be the Angel's account to take it down. Yeah. And they might have blocked her, but she sent that in direct messages too. So, like, oh no. I don't know. Is Zach here? Wait. Wait. Is Zach here? I don't see it. Wait. I don't, did he block me? Oh, there you are, Zach. He's hiding. He wants to know if I worked out. Zach, I literally don't see your comment. That is so weird. How does everybody see your comment and I don't? That's so weird. Oh, now I see. Hey, I see this comment, but like, I don't see. I'm in live chat. I don't even see it in StreamYard. You're not here. Weird. It was that's weird. I am not on top chat. I am on live chat, and it's not even. You had to allow the comment. He called me a fat ass, didn't he? Although I still think it's a subcontractor running the Insta, not them, so that company could have blocked them on their own accord because of the company policy on it. Maybe. That Zach MFer is not real. Yeah, he always calls me a fat ass. He's my my personal fat shamer. Yes, just his normal affectionate greeting. Like, you're just, yeah. I did go to the gym today. It was snatch. It was a 4x2 snatch balance, or snatch and then snatch balance, and then a workout of like 8 minutes to finish 21:15.9 of calories on the ski, and toast-a bar or toast-a bar attempts, and then calories on the ski and overhead squats. And then you had 16 minutes to do 21:15.9 of 8 minutes starting at 16 to from 8 to 16, 21:15.9 calories and overhead squats. And then at the 16-minute mark, you did toast to bar, 21:15.9 toast to bar and overhead squats. It was shitty. And my hand went numb for what I thought was no reason at all. But apparently, yeah. So we're talking about a lawsuit where someone is suing the Blue Angels for her cat dying. In addition, plaintiff left multiple comments on the U.S. Navy Blue Angels post or tagging their handle on other accounts post, directing other users to sign a change.org petition titled, "We all want to feel safe. No more Blue Angels over Seattle." Okay, this is where I also have a problem. So this is where I also have a problem. You know, I'm gonna translate it to things that I know, which is YouTube. Like, I have no problem when people come in here and they ask me if they can, or they've cleared it with me of dropping their links or things that they want to do, or if they've talked to me about it. But like coming in here and say, or like dropping a petition to say, take squid off YouTube, that would piss me off. So like dropping a link for a change.org petition to remove the Blue Angels, I'm pretty sure that would be like, no, you're not going to go in there and just drop links. Like, hey, poor Marine, how are you? Please take squid off YouTube. Tammy. So, she's horrible. Oh my goodness. Get back to reading Chop Chop. Okay. But like, this is the problem I said from the very beginning, Tony, I was going to rip this apart. And this is where I also have a problem. Like, if you come into their account and you drop links for something that is anti them, they're going to have a problem with it. Like, it's just one of those, like, come on, like, the common sense. On or about August 5th of 2023, the Blue Angels blocked plaintiff's account for any further interactions. You're filing this lawsuit in July of 2025 for something that happened in August of 2023 and August of 2024. Talk about bitter. You must not have found a cat. In response, plaintiffs sent them a direct message calling them cowards, which appeared to send but was never delivered due to being blocked. Stop with your August 3rd, 2023. Stop with your fucking bullshit. You're terrorizing my cat and all the other animals and wildlife. Fuck up. Like, who would put this? Admitting that they told them to fuck off. Like, admitting that you cursed at people. Like, who in their right mind is going to be cursed at and then be like, oh yeah, let's talk to her. Fuck that shit. Like, no. Like, no. Screenshots of the parting missives and the blockie's response. The blocking occurred within days of plaintiff's critical messages and directly caused by the viewpoint expressed in her speech criticizing the Blue Angels' impact on vulnerable animals and civilian populations. None of the plaintiff's speech directed at the Blue Angels was ever in violation of any of Instagram's terms of service. It might have been in violation of the Blue Angels' terms of service. Cat spazzed out more than a veteran I know who has a YouTube and fake service dog. Emotional. I was watching something the other day and I heard emotional damage and now I can't get it out of my head. Emotional damage. Natural selection, survival of the fittest. Have a good night, Kathy. As a result of the blocking, plaintiff suffered immediate and ongoing constitutional harm. She was prevented from communicating with the Blue Angels, receiving information from their account, viewing public discourse on their page, and having others see her constitutionally protected criticism of government actions. Upon information and belief, the Blue Angels deleted critical comments left on their post by plaintiff. Know if you cursed, there's a good chance that other people reported your comments and they were deleted by Instagram. And I can't wait to see the response to this. The blocking remains in effect to this day. Plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer frustration, distress, and prevention from participation in public discourse about subsequent Blue Angels performances and their impact on vulnerable populations. Her lawyer had the balls to call the freaking Blue Angels snowflakes when it sounds like your wife, sir, is the snowflake in this situation. In 2024, Layla died after suffering through a Blue Angels sonic assault during her final days. No, it sounds like she died because she had a heart condition for multiple years, because you were bitching about this in 2023. You let her suffer for an entire year with a heart condition. And I'm very interested to see if this ever goes to Discovery, how many times she was in and out of the vet's office having to have the fluid around her heart drained, putting that cat through a whole bunch of shit because you are an awful pet parent. Plaintiff's continued blocking prevented her from expressing her grief and renewed criticism of the government actions that contributed to her beloved companion's death and suffering, compounding her constitutional injury during a time when her need for expressive speech was most relevant. Oh, well, yeah, and Dan, I am so happy for you. Congratulations on getting power back. Plaintiff repeats the allegations set forth above as fully set forth herein. Defendant's operation of the official U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram account constitutes the creation of a public forum under the U.S. Constitution. Defendant's blocking of plaintiff from the U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram account violates the First Amendment because it imposes a viewpoint-based restriction on her participation in a public forum. If you were cursing at them, does it though? Defendant's blocking plaintiff from the U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram violates the First Amendment because it imposes a viewpoint-based restriction on her access to official statements of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, otherwise make available to the general public. Log out. You don't need an account to see a public forum. Defendant's blocking of plaintiff from the U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram account violates the First Amendment because it imposes a viewpoint-based restriction based on her ability to petition the government for a redress of grievances. I'm sorry, but the person who runs their Instagram account is really not the person to go to. Like, I'm pretty sure it's even their public affairs officer is not the person to go to. Being in the military, you're just a plebe. Wherefore, this plaintiff requests the court to declare the defendant's blocking plaintiff from the official U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram account as unconstitutional. There is a big difference between the president blocking someone from the official president of the United States account and the U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram account. Big difference, in my opinion. Big difference. One is family friendly, one is not. There's some things that are said on the official president's official Instagram and official like Facebook and Twitter accounts that are not family friendly. And in my opinion, they are what needs to be said for the whole country, but they are not family friendly. The Blue Angels, in my opinion, are a family friendly affair. There's a big difference there. Enter an injunction requiring defendants to unblock plaintiff from the U.S. Navy Blue Angels Instagram account and prohibiting defendants from blocking the plaintiff or anyone else from the account on the basis of viewpoint. Order defendants to take remedial training on the fundamental importance of the First Amendment, which the brave men and women of the U.S. Navy are sworn to protect. Oh my God. Award plaintiff her costs, including reasonable attorney's fees pursuant to 28 U.S. Code 2412, and grant any additional relief as may be just and proper. What attorney's fees? The attorney is your husband, sir. She violated terms of chat rules. I agree. A lot of fucked gets said. Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, shut up, sit down. Like, he's trying to use that BS ruling against Trump at the White House during the yeah. That's, yeah. So here's the civil cover sheet, which, yeah. So, it's the summons. So, and the address on it is the official address to the official address to the Blue Angels squadron. That's it. I'm getting Nassim Bushida to represent me. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. So yeah, there's that. Yep. And if we need a refresher, this is Nassim Bushida. Nassim Bushida is the husband of Lauren Ann Lombardi. He is hated. This is transgendermap.com. He's an American lawyer, gun rights activist, anti-transgender activist, contributor to anti-trans activist Jesse Single's Substack, Single Minded. He's a Moroccan-born Moroccan-born immigrant whose parents won a U.S. diversity visa. And I love how Transgender Map has to point that out, that his parents won a diversity visa. So it's like, why are you hating trans people when your parents won a diversity visa? Like, it's the diversity Olympics here. Like, but here's where it gets interesting. In 2023, Bushida married Lauren Lombardi, and she's a former funeral director. And Lombardi became a paralegal at Bushida's Pavis Law in 2024. So yeah, there's that. And this is his LinkedIn profile, just in case anybody wants to check it out. You know. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. So I will be keeping an eye on this, because this is fucking entertaining. Cheers. This is how much I drink and all of that. I got just less than half of this beer completed. Oh my goodness. This is a fun one. And this is in Pacer. This was filed in federal court. Another douche canoe. Yeah. Like, I just can't, yeah. And poor Marine, we love you here. Yes. And this should be moved to military court. Yeah, it should. All right, guys. It is time for me to go. It is 8:07. Tug and Megan should be going live soon with Tug's reading of the I guess the new lawsuit. It's been amended to include Tug and Megan, and I will be reading it, just not today. I had to get through this because this was too fucking entertaining not to share. But anyway, y'all have a great day. For some reason, they don't come up on my my stuff. Did I? Your cat scared the Navy. We are suing. I just can't. I can't wait for them to. Just can't wait for them to come up with something. I can't wait for them to see. And I'm going to see if they come up on my redirect, but I doubt it. They never do, because only people that I really watch come up on my redirects. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a thing, but even like searching, people like that I don't really watch don't come up on my, like, I have to search for people and they don't. Live now. Grandma's house, nope. Even people that I've never seen before. But maybe I've been blocked. I don't know. I don't know if Tug or Megan are going live, but they don't come up on my Yeah, they don't come up on my nope. So I don't know if they don't have a stream set up or they're not streaming tonight, but Tug and Megan don't come up on my stuff, on my redirects anymore. So, and I can't even search for them. So have a nice night, y'all, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye.